What is up, XXxScarKnightxXx, bringing you top 10 Generation 1 Pokemon, and with this top 10 I made it different so it's more accurate because instead of just my personal opinion, I went ahead and watched as much top 10 Generation 1 Pokemon videos as I can. Just to throw out examples here, I watched from WatchMojoTV.com, which was based off of just popularity. I watched Wood to the Core, which was based off his opinion. I even watched Crow of Murder, which was based off the top 10 worst Pokemon. So on those categories, this top 10 is gonna be determined through many factors, but just to clear things up, numbers do change over time. Top 10 videos gets uploaded all the time, so of course in the future some Pokemon will have better placements. With that being said, let's just start the top 10 Generation 1 Pokemon. 10. Lapras, the transport Pokemon with its typing of water and ice type. This Pokemon is a phenomenal tank that could dish out the damage. Its base stat has a total of 535, which is one of the highest of all in evolved Pokemon. Speaking of which, Shellos was rumored for being a pre-evolution, but was proven false. I use the Lapras for my Let's Plays of Pokemon Crystal and it never fails. 9. Arcanine, the legendary Pokemon with this typing of fire. This is one of my personal favorite Pokemon that made it at this placement. That just has the presence of greatness. It is based off Ryukyuan and Haitai, mythical creatures with similar features. Oh my god, that rhyme! With lions, tigers, and dogs. Oh my. 8. Mewtwo, the genetic Pokemon with the typing of Psychic. Now I know what you're thinking. He's a legendary Pokemon. What's he doing on this list? To be honest, I was debating whether I should have a non-legendaries for this list. It turned out he's the only legendary, besides Arcanine, to make it on this list. Besides, when you think of Generation 1, do you not think of Mewtwo? 7. Pikachu! No, I'm not kidding. It's Pikachu! In all seriousness, it is the mascot of Pokemon. A lot of people adore it as well. I met people whose favorite Pokemon is Pikachu. It actually was tied with Mewtwo, but the reason I have it number 7 because someone put him in top 10 worst Generation 1 Pokemon. He was 10th place, so I had to deduct some points. So if I hadn't deducted those points, Pikachu would have been 7th place anyway, instead of tied with Mewtwo. 6. Alakazam, the side Pokemon with the typing of Psychic. This Pokemon has an amazing special attack and his Japanese name is Fuden? Not only is his Mega Evolution has more spoons, it has the most majestic beard. Ooh, what? I personally only use a Kadabra and I had never gotten it traded for an Alakazam because I had no friends. Just kidding, I had friends. 5. Dragonite, the dragon Pokemon with the typing of Fly and a Dragon type. You don't say. It is also a Facito legendary Pokemon, which means it's stronger than every other Pokemon like a legendary, but it's not legendary Pokemon. 4. Meet the Pokemon that was in the most top 10 videos than any other, and that is Gengar, the shadow Pokemon with the typing of Ghost and Poison. Now if you were to look at the name of origin it's from, it says it's a possibility of it being a shortened version of the word doppelganger, a double of a person, which is fitting for a Pokemon with the habit of pretending to be a person's shadow. I can't help but think about that theory, you know, that theory that Gengar could just be a shadow of a Clefable. 3. Gyarados, the atrocious Pokemon with the typing of water and flying. I still don't understand why they made him part flying type. Look, I get why he was supposed to be a water dragon type, but it would only have the weakness of dragon, not to mention that the fact that the only move of Generation 1 of the dragon typing is Dragon Rage, but it always does a set number of 40 damage. I mentioned this in a video before, they could have just at least changed Dragon Rage into an attacking move with no set damage of 40, or they could have just given a team around Fuchsia or something and make it compatible with more Pokemon, or have more dragon moves, or have more weaknesses. But I get it, I get it. Dragon type along with ice type was last minute typing, as well as was added in Japanese Pokemon Blue. but they could have at least made him just a water type. Blastoise, the shellfish Pokemon with the typing of water. This Pokemon is a complete monster. When I called Lapras a tank, it does not compare to the true definition of the word. Even in my Let's Play Pokemon Yellow, he was voted my best team member and nicknamed Beast. Before I get to number 1, here are the honorable mentions that came close on the top 10 list. My personal more favorite of the legendary bird trio that came close. Most likely your first Pokemon ever caught that really brings back memories. Snow White, but Beast Mode. A Pokemon that I always gravitated to when I played Red, Blue, and Yellow. Bulbasaur outranked even his evolved forms because he was number 1. Caterpie! Okay, I'm totally kidding. Okay, the true number 1 is Charizard, the number 1 Pokemon of Generation 1. Some of you saw this coming a mile away, but let me tell you, when I was a kid, and the first time I saw Charizard besides the intro of Pokemon, that episode when Aerodactyl rose up and Charmeleon evolved into Charizard, you just witnessed greatness. And it wasn't just that episode. He has so many amazing battles and showed how elite he was. Charizard vs Magmar, Charizard vs Poliwrath, Charizard vs Pidgeot, Charizard vs Entei, Charizard vs Blaziken, Charizard vs Blastoise, Charizard vs Articuno. The list goes on, and that is why he is number 1. If you enjoyed this video and a proud member of the Scar Knight Legacy, make sure to hit that like button. Pick what top 10 you would like between top 10 worst Pokemon of Generation 1, or pick Scar Knight's top 10 Generation 1 Pokemon, if you want in my opinion. If you don't give 2 squirts of piss, then do pick the other one in the comment section below. Also, send me feedback of how well or how shitty I've done, and suggest what other top 10 so I have it as an option for next month, because this is going to be a monthly thing. And no, it doesn't have to be just about Pokemon. It could be about anything you wish that isn't too ridiculous. Subscribe and you'll be notified when I have a video ready. I play the video games. Also, if you do subscribe, I split my subscribers into teams, which are White Tigers and Dragons. They are 2 different teams that fight for the right to vote for a game for me to play. I'll put a link into the description if you wanted to see the rules so you'll understand. Keep in mind, if you have your sub box on public, meaning anyone could just see your subscriptions, I'll send you a message asking what team you want to join. Or if it's on private, then you're gonna have to send me a message telling me you subscribed and picking your team, and I'll reply to confirmation. With that long-winded outro, that is it. I've been Scar Knight, and White Tigers and Dragons to you.